Well, if you thought that was extreme, you won't believe this, or maybe you will because it happened on The View. This is Whoopi Goldberg. She gave a shocking claim about how black people in our country are comparing to what it's like to live in Iran.
Let's just remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay.
It felt like hours before Kayleigh McEnany forcefully and suddenly launched a truth bomb. She almost lost her script when she gave Whoopi Goldberg her seat. Following a few sarcastic comments on the television, Whoopi is confronted with facts and her characteristic sarcasm. Kayleigh raises her eyebrows glumly. The studio was silent. The cups clinking ceased. And Whoopi appeared to have had her cue cards removed. What was it about Kayleigh's words that left everyone stunned? Really, this battle was pure.
Millions of dollars. Whoopi Goldberg's a famous actress. She's on a talk show, Kennedy, and it's time to educate Whoopi Goldberg. Let's meet Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini, we have her picture. She was in Iran, 22 years old. She didn't wear her hijab, so of course the morality police arrested her in Iran. She died in a re-education class in prison where she was physically abused by Iranian authorities. So apparently this is where Whoopi...
When a talk show presenter conveniently forgets anything that contradicts the current moral panic, exhibits selective outrage, and harbors a persistent sense of grievance. What do you get? Whoopi Goldberg is now the head of Never Do What I've Done Because It Looks Like Yours, but do as I say.
What it's all about. Either you want it to work forward thinking, you want everybody to have the ability to say how they feel, what they want, to move forward, or you don't. Or you want somebody who says, I'm going to be on day one, I'm going to be a dictator. Who says it to you, tells you, I'm going to put you people away. I'm going to take all the journalists, I'm going to take all the gay folks, I'm going to move you all around and disappear you. If that's the country you want, you know who to vote for.
Goldberg, bless her echo chamber. But Kayleigh McEnany arrived with more receipts than a CVS printer, just as the audience thought the absurd quoter had peaked. Nothing suggests that the person is a progressive thought leader, as though someone who really completes their homework caught you off guard after you boldly contradicted yourself during the same commercial break.
Groping and electrocution of their genitals. Welcome to Iran, Whoopi Goldberg, but apparently it's harder to live in this country.
Well, it's 2025.
It's clear that Whoopi is struggling when Kayleigh delivers her famous remark, "I will teach you about it." She says with a soft grin and an unmistakable expression. Publicists are quick to create apology tweets when they notice the kind of look that makes producers sweat. As you can see, Kayleigh wasn't there just to spar on TV when she got there. Her bulldozer was pointed straight toward the pedestal Whoopi had been standing on for decades.
She would not have the privilege of being on a talk show about her hijab and talking about the Iranian regime and challenging them and criticizing them any day of the week. That is what Whoopi Goldberg experiences in the United States as a successful black woman. In fact, the laws against women especially going out and assembling in order to fight the authoritarianism in Iran, that is met with death. Like, you can receive the maximum penalty.
Do we need to travel back in time? Whoopi's infamous unreliability is best illustrated by her own highlight reel. That's the same woman who once sought to persuade everyone that some words weren't suitable. Yes, the word crime also described a challenging environment. That was the first indication that this person was not a serious philosopher, but rather someone who viewed Twitter discussions as a diary for research.
I am saying that it is the same. Murdering someone for their difference is not good. Whoever does it. It's not good. So that's why I said you weren't saying what I heard was not what you meant.
I think it's very different to live in the United States in 2025 than it is to live in Iran.
Not if you're black.
You have strong opinions, and it's like any emotive Wikipedia. Post. Like Oprah when she presents Cars, she sits there and gives moral lectures around Thanksgiving. You are given a lecture. A lecture is given to everyone. Kayleigh, however, refused to accept it. Among her many talents were timelines, a memory bank, and that sarcastic, ironic look that says, "I printed your contradictions." While Kayleigh waited like a shark, allowing the seal to exhaust itself, Whoopi burst into her typical combination of half-baked wrath and fully baked inconsistencies. What's the issue? Whoopi's opinions change as a result of the cheers. She may be a champion of free speech one moment and then cancel people like she's reading an espresso order the next. Rather than make concessions, Kayleigh produced invoices. Only weeks after declaring that political marriages are forbidden, Whoopi appears in a brutal montage denouncing a conservative wife's attire and religious beliefs. The traditional deflection of Whoopi is defended. She thinks, instead of arguing, it's like she's hosting a Matlock revival, switching between saying you're wrong and back in my day. At other times, you can really hear the panel getting ready to present yet another lengthy, emotionally charged story that is appropriate for a conspiracy forum.
Say that bad things didn't happen previously in this country, but on Juneteenth, where we recognize the emancipation from slavery, Texas, the last state, on this particular day, if she does this the day before, she's ignorant of the facts. I want to try to be kind because my expectation for Whoopi Goldberg is low.
But Kayleigh stood quietly and watched the unraveling as if she had read the spoilers before. The woman didn't flinch, roll her eyes, or even yell. For a competent interrupter, the worst annoyance is someone who doesn't fall for the bait. She simply gave a kind and accurate response, which naturally made Whoopi go crazy. What was it that made Whoopi crazy? Was it sparked by cold facts, historical comparisons, or footnotes during the broadcast? The tone was dreadfully calm, saying, "This isn't personal. You're entirely wrong on what you're saying." When challenged, Whoopi did what she does best. She leaned back, squinted, and said she was the target of a massive unseen campaign of rudeness. As she was complaining about her feelings, vibes, and the way things used to be when she had a beeper, how could anybody offer proof? Not to mention Whoopi's unwavering belief that your case is strengthened by creating a greater noise. It's an unwritten house rule that loudness equates to legitimacy. This time, though, Kayleigh didn't yell back. Instead, she simply flashed that calm, subservient smile that says, "I'm going to ruin your entire story with just your previous statements and basic math." The collapse starts.